Social networking, which began as a tool for connecting friends and family, has evolved into a global phenomenon shaping every facet of modern life. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Snapchat have not only changed the way people communicate but have also significantly impacted politics, the economy, social norms, content creation, and even culture. Social media is both a mirror and a molder of contemporary society, influencing everything from the spread of information to the formation of individual identity. In this video, we will explore how social networking has affected a wide range of areas, including politics, fake news, the economy, social norms, narrative building, youth engagement, violence, wars, and cultural evolution. By delving deeply into these topics, we aim to present a holistic view of the profound effects social networks have on society. Social networking has revolutionized politics in the 21st century. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube have become essential tools for political campaigns, activism, and citizen engagement. Politicians increasingly rely on social media to engage with voters. Barack Obama's 2008 and 2012 US presidential campaigns were among the first to effectively utilize social media for fundraising, organizing rallies, and direct communication with the electorate. Since then, political campaigns worldwide have adopted social networking as a key strategy to build support bases, share political messages, and counter opposition narratives. Social media allows for direct communication between politicians and voters, circumventing traditional media gatekeepers. Platforms like Twitter provide instant access to political leaders' thoughts and policies, while platforms like Facebook and Instagram are used for targeted advertisements based on user data. Social networks have been essential in amplifying the voices of marginalized groups and enabling grassroots movements. For example, the Arab Spring in 2011, a series of pro-democracy uprisings, was largely fueled by social media platforms that helped organize protests, share news of government crackdowns, and spread messages of hope and resistance. Movements such as Me Too and Black Lives Matter have similarly benefited from social networking, allowing activists to create awareness, gain support, and organize actions on a global scale. Social media influences voter behavior by providing instant access to political discourse, debates, and news. However, this access is often curated by algorithms designed to prioritize engaging content, which may lead users into political echo chambers where they are exposed only to viewpoints that reinforce their existing beliefs. This can polarize political discourse and reduce the likelihood of cross-ideological understanding. One of the most significant challenges posed by social media in politics is the spread of disinformation and fake news. During the 2016 US presidential election, Russian interference through social media disinformation campaigns raised global awareness about the potential for social networks to be weaponized. False information, often shared more widely than factual content, can sway public opinion and lead to misinformed voting decisions. The spread of fake news is exacerbated by the virality of sensationalist headlines and the algorithmic incentives of social platforms that prioritize engagement over accuracy. Social networking has become a crucial component of the global economy, influencing everything from consumer behavior to the structure of industries. Social media platforms are pivotal in driving e-commerce. Businesses, both small and large, use platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for marketing their products and services. The rise of social media influences, individuals with large, engaged followings, has created new avenues for advertising. Influencer marketing has become a billion-dollar industry, where brands collaborate with influencers to promote products in more authentic, relatable ways than traditional advertising. Additionally, social media provides businesses with valuable consumer data. Through platforms like Facebook Ads and Google Analytics, companies can target potential customers with precision based on their online behavior, location, and demographics. This targeted advertising is more efficient and cost-effective than traditional marketing strategies. The gig economy has also been transformed by social networking, particularly with the rise of freelance content creators, digital marketers, and influencers. Platforms like YouTube and TikTok allow creators to monetize their content through advertisements, sponsorships, and direct contributions from viewers. Social networking has thus democratized content creation, allowing anyone with a smartphone and internet connection to potentially reach millions of viewers and build a career online. Social networks have dramatically shifted the media landscape, diminishing the influence of traditional news outlets. Younger generations, in particular, prefer to consume news through social media rather than television or print media. This has led to significant changes in the way news is produced and distributed, with media companies increasingly focusing on social media platforms to reach audiences. The shift to social media as a primary news source has also put financial pressure on traditional media outlets, many of which now rely on social media for traffic. However, the decline of paid subscriptions and the rise of ad-based revenue models have made traditional journalism more vulnerable to the demands of digital advertisers, who may prioritize clickbait content over in-depth reporting. Social networking has significantly influenced societal norms, reshaping how people communicate, interact, and perceive themselves and others. Social media has transformed communication, making it more immediate, informal, and visually driven. Platforms like WhatsApp and Instagram stories emphasize short, ephemeral messages, encouraging users to share more frequent updates with their friends and followers. However, this emphasis on constant connectivity can lead to a superficial level of interaction, with deeper, more meaningful conversations often taking a backseat to quick, easily consumable content. Social networking also plays a crucial role in shaping self-image, particularly among young people. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok promote highly curated, idealized versions of reality, often leading users to compare themselves to others in terms of appearance, lifestyle, and achievements. This constant comparison can negatively affect mental health, leading to issues such as body dysmorphia, anxiety, and depression. Social media has amplified the phenomenon of FOMO, fear of missing out, where individuals feel anxious or dissatisfied because they believe others are living better, more exciting lives. This is particularly prevalent among younger generations, who are constantly exposed to curated highlights of their peers' lives through platforms like Instagram and Snapchat. FOMO can lead to a sense of inadequacy and social isolation, even among those who are highly active on social media. The anonymity provided by social media can lead to negative behaviors, including cyberbullying and online harassment. Platforms like Twitter and Facebook have become notorious for the vitriol and abuse that some users face. The constant exposure to online harassment can have serious consequences for victims, leading to mental health issues, including depression and anxiety, and in extreme cases, self-harm or suicide. Social networking platforms have democratized content creation, allowing anyone to produce and share content with a global audience. One of the most significant shifts in content creation has been the rise of influencers, individuals who have built large followings on platforms like Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Influencers often act as content creators, brand ambassadors, and marketers, creating personalized content that resonates with their audiences. The influencer economy has grown into a multi-billion-dollar industry, with influencers wielding significant power over consumer behavior and trends. Social media has shifted the power of content creation from traditional media outlets to users themselves. Platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter encourage user-generated content, giving everyone a platform to share their thoughts, ideas, and creativity. This shift has led to the rise of independent creators who can gain fame and success without the backing of large media corporations. The ability to monetize content on platforms like YouTube and TikTok has created new career opportunities for content creators. Many influencers and creators now rely on social media as their primary source of income, earning money through ads, sponsorships, merchandise, and donations from their followers. This has led to the professionalization of content creation, with influencers and creators adopting increasingly sophisticated production techniques to stand out in the competitive landscape. Social networking has a profound influence on youth culture and education. While social media can be a valuable tool for learning and self-expression, it also poses significant risks. Social media platforms like YouTube and LinkedIn have created new opportunities for learning and skill development. Educational content, ranging from tutorials to full online courses, is widely available, making learning more accessible. Social networking also enables students to connect with peers and experts worldwide, fostering collaborative learning and knowledge exchange. However, the rise of social media has highlighted the importance of digital literacy, understanding how to critically evaluate the information encountered online. The proliferation of fake news and misinformation on platforms like Facebook and Twitter has shown that many users, especially young people, struggle to differentiate between credible sources and false information. Digital literacy education is becoming increasingly important in equipping young people with the skills to navigate the complex online world responsibly. Social media addiction is a growing concern, particularly among younger generations. The constant need to check notifications, respond to messages, and stay updated with friends and trends has created an environment where users, especially teenagers, spend significant amounts of time on their devices. According to studies, this compulsive use of social media can lead to a range of mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, and stress. The dopamine loop, created by likes, comments, and shares, stimulates the brain's reward system, making social media as addictive as some substances. As users seek more validation and engagement, they may experience withdrawal symptoms similar to those associated with substance abuse when they are not online. This phenomenon has led to the rise of digital detox programs aimed at reducing dependence on social media. Social media has fundamentally changed the way conflicts are fought and perceived, affecting both the battlefield and public opinion. Social media has become an essential tool for governments and armed groups in modern warfare. During the Russia-Ukraine conflict, both sides utilized platforms like Twitter, Telegram, and Facebook to disseminate propaganda, rally support, and report on battlefield conditions in real time. This instant communication allows for the rapid spread of war narratives, with governments using social networks to justify their actions and sway public opinion. One of the darker aspects of social media is its use by extremist groups to recruit followers, spread propaganda, and coordinate attacks. Terrorist organizations like ISIS have exploited platforms such as YouTube and Twitter to radicalize vulnerable individuals, particularly young people, by providing them with a sense of community and purpose. These platforms are also used for planning and executing violent acts, with encrypted messaging apps like Telegram providing a secure means for communication. Social media has enabled ordinary citizens to act as witnesses in conflict zones, sharing photos, videos, and first-hand accounts of violence in real time. This has changed the nature of war reporting, making it more difficult for governments to control the narrative. However, this flood of unverified content can also lead to the spread of misinformation, further complicating the already chaotic environment of war. Social networking platforms play a crucial role in shaping narratives and influencing cultural trends. Governments, political organizations, and corporations use social media to build and control narratives. For instance, during political campaigns, candidates strategically craft their social media presence to project specific images and control public perception. Similarly, companies use social media to shape brand narratives, manage public relations crises, and influence consumer behavior. Social networking platforms are also key drivers of viral trends, influencing everything from fashion to language. Memes, hashtags, and challenges spread quickly, shaping popular culture in ways that were unimaginable before the advent of social media. For example, the Ice Bucket Challenge not only raised millions of dollars for ALS research, but also became a cultural phenomenon, inspiring similar charitable campaigns across the globe. These platforms have been instrumental in raising awareness about social justice issues, influencing mainstream culture, and fostering more inclusive societies. Social media's potential for organizing social movements and influencing public policy has made it one of the most powerful tools for activists. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp have been instrumental in rallying public support for causes, pushing governments toward policy change, and holding corporations accountable. Social networking has played a critical role in mobilizing millions of people around causes such as environmental justice, racial equality, and gender rights. Some of the most notable movements of the past decade were born or found strength through social media platforms. Originating in 2013, the Black Lives Matter movement gained worldwide attention following the killing of George Floyd in 2020. Social media, particularly Twitter and Instagram, became a platform for millions to share their outrage and organize protests globally. The hashtag Black Lives Matter became a rallying cry and a symbol of the broader struggle against systemic racism, police brutality, and racial injustice in the US and around the world. What set BLM apart was the grassroots way it used social networking to hold those in power accountable, bypassing traditional media channels. The youth-driven climate movement spearheaded by Greta Thunberg used social networking to create one of the largest global climate strikes in history. Social networks like Instagram and Twitter played an essential role in mobilizing students worldwide, enabling activists to organize marches and coordinate events from one country to another in real time. During the Arab Spring, platforms like Facebook and Twitter were vital in organizing protests and sharing information about government actions, evading state censorship. Social media allowed for real-time reporting, facilitating global attention and putting pressure on oppressive regimes. The role of social networking in these uprisings emphasized how digital platforms could foster democracy and accountability in regions where freedom of the press was limited. In addition to mobilizing social movements, social networks have been used to pressure governments to change policies. Online petitions and social media campaigns frequently go viral, forcing leaders to take notice of public sentiment. For example, #MeToo, a movement against sexual harassment and assault, initially went viral on Twitter and has since led to legislative reforms in many countries. It brought workplace harassment and assault into the spotlight and led to policy changes in corporate settings, as well as changes in how sexual harassment claims are handled in both private and public institutions. Another example is the #StopHateForProfit campaign, in which civil rights organizations called for advertisers to boycott Facebook in protest of its failure to address hate speech and misinformation. This led to significant financial and reputational pressure on Facebook, highlighting how social networks can be leveraged for corporate responsibility and policy reform. Social networking platforms have not only influenced individual behavior but also reshaped global culture, promoting cross-cultural exchanges and blurring the lines between regional and global traditions. Social media has facilitated a new era of cultural exchange, enabling users from different parts of the world to share their customs, traditions, and values in real time. On platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, influencers from various backgrounds can introduce their followers to new cultural practices, fashion trends, music, and cuisines. This can lead to a form of cultural convergence, where global trends emerge as individuals from different cultural contexts adopt and adapt each other's practices. For example, K-pop Korean pop music has become a global phenomenon thanks to social networking platforms like Twitter and YouTube. Similarly, social networks have played a crucial role in spreading Bollywood's influence far beyond South Asia. However, while social media can promote cultural convergence, it can also lead to cultural divergence, as online spaces sometimes reinforce cultural differences or nationalism. Platforms that allow like-minded individuals to form insular communities can lead to the reinforcement of local or regional identities that resist global influences. Memes, those viral images, videos, and text combinations, are a unique product of the internet age, spreading across social media platforms at lightning speed. Memes serve as both a reflection of cultural values and a tool for their transmission, allowing for complex ideas to be communicated in a simple, often humorous way. Platforms like Reddit, Twitter, and Instagram serve as breeding grounds for meme culture, which transcends linguistic and cultural boundaries, influencing global trends and politics. While social networking has been a force for good, promoting social change and cultural exchange, it has also been co-opted by extremist groups to incite violence, radicalize individuals, and perpetuate terrorism. One of the most significant negative impacts of social networking has been its use by extremist groups to spread propaganda and recruit followers. Platforms like YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook have been instrumental in the radicalization of individuals, particularly among disaffected youth. Terrorist organizations, such as ISIS, have used these platforms to promote their ideologies, coordinate attacks, and inspire lone wolf terrorism in other countries. Research shows that individuals who feel isolated or marginalized can be drawn into extremist communities online, where they find a sense of purpose and belonging. Social media algorithms that prioritize engagement often exacerbate the problem, as they direct users to increasingly extreme content, leading them down a path of radicalization. Social media has also been implicated in inciting violence and ethnic conflict. For instance, during the Rohingya crisis in Myanmar, Facebook was criticized for failing to moderate hate speech that incited violence against the Muslim minority. Similar cases have been seen in India, where WhatsApp has been used to spread inflammatory content that has led to communal violence. The ease with which false or inflammatory content can go viral has made social networks both a weapon and a battleground in conflicts around the world. social networking has become a primary channel for the spread of fake news and misinformation. This phenomenon has had profound effects on society, undermining trust in institutions, polarizing political discourse, and distorting public perceptions of reality. Social media algorithms are designed to prioritize content that generates engagement, likes, shares, and comments. Unfortunately, this often means that sensationalist and misleading content is amplified, as it is more likely to provoke strong emotional reactions. Studies have shown that fake news spreads more rapidly than factual news, especially on platforms like Twitter. The ease with which misinformation can be shared makes social networking platforms fertile ground for the spread of fake news, which can mislead the public on important issues like elections, public health, and scientific facts. Fake news has become a tool of political manipulation. In several countries, political operatives have used social networks to spread false information to influence election outcomes. The 2016 US presidential election and the Brexit referendum in the UK are two high-profile examples where social networking platforms were used to spread disinformation campaigns aimed at manipulating public opinion. Fake news can also be used to attack political opponents, sow division, or distract from more pressing issues, thus distorting democratic processes. In response to the rise of fake news, social networking platforms have taken steps to curb its spread. Fact-checking organizations now work with platforms like Facebook and Twitter to flag or remove false information. However, these efforts have been met with mixed results. Some critics argue that these platforms are not doing enough, while others raise concerns about free speech and the potential for censorship. Social networking is a powerful tool that has reshaped the way we interact, consume information, and engage with the world. While it has the potential to bring about positive social change, promote cultural exchange, and create economic opportunities, it also carries significant risks, including the spread of misinformation, radicalization, and the erosion of social norms. As social networks continue to evolve, societies must grapple with how to harness their benefits while mitigating their negative impacts. The future of social networking will likely be shaped by how platforms and governments address these challenges. This includes developing more robust content moderation practices, protecting user privacy, and fostering more inclusive, transparent spaces for public discourse. As these issues are navigated, one thing is clear: social networking will remain a defining feature of our global society for years to come.